Let's get right into it. Number 10. The ickiest roommate you didn't know you had. Picture this. You think you live alone, maybe with a pet, maybe with a roommate who steals your almond milk. But surprise, you're actually playing landlord to trillions of microscopic tenants. Yup, bacteria. You are basically an apartment complex made of skin and bad decisions, and every square inch of you is prime real estate. Your gut alone has more bacteria than there are stars in the Milky Way, which means you're less a person and more a human-shaped Airbnb for microbes. Scientists estimate that your body is about half human cells, half bacterial cells. So technically, if you've ever been accused of being half the person you used to be, that was accidentally accurate. Without bacteria, your digestion, immune system, and even your mood would collapse. Basically, you'd be a sad, bloated sack of meat that cries for no reason, which, to be fair, is already most of us after eating Taco Bell. Here's the kicker. While you're out here paying rent and utility bills, these microbes live in luxury, rent-free, and they even throw the occasional microscopic rave in your intestines. So next time you look in the mirror, just know, you're basically a bacterial timeshare with legs. Number 9. Poop transplant roulette. You might want to sit down for this one, preferably not on a public toilet, because one of the creepiest things modern medicine has cooked up is the fecal transplant. That's right. Doctors literally take bacteria from someone else's poop and put it inside you. Bon appetit. Why? Because sometimes your gut bacteria get wrecked, say, after a nasty infection or an antibiotic apocalypse. When that happens, doctors restore your gut ecosystem the same way you'd fix a dying fish tank, by adding someone else's healthy bacteria. Translation: a stranger's microbes are moving into your colon like it's the hottest new neighborhood. And here's the freaky part. Scientists are realizing these transplants don't just fix infections. They can actually change your mood, cravings, and even your weight. People have gotten thinner or fatter after a poop transplant depending on the donor. Imagine going in for treatment and accidentally inheriting Greg from accounting's addiction to Doritos. That's not medicine, that's bacterial Russian roulette. So yeah, if your doctor ever suggests a fecal transplant, just remember, you're basically installing a stranger's operating system into your body. Hope they didn't leave malware. Number 8. Kiss of 1,000 strangers. Kissing. Cute, romantic, maybe sloppy depending on how much tequila was involved. But scientifically, it's just bacteria swapping spit in the most unhygienic networking event imaginable. One 10-second French kiss can transfer 80 million bacteria between you and your partner. That's more than the entire population of Germany moving from one mouth to another. Romantic, right? Most of the time, this bacterial swap is harmless and even kind of good for you, like a free sample platter for your immune system. But still, let's not forget that every kiss you've ever had was basically a blind bacteria date. Every makeout session is a microbial mixer, complete with tiny bacteria in tuxedos shaking hands and saying, "Ah yes, I'll be colonizing your gums now." So the next time you're feeling flirty, just remember, love may be in the air, but bacteria is definitely in your mouth. Basically, kissing is just two people agreeing to become one giant slobbery petri dish. Number 7. The skin suit colony. You know that satisfying moment when you wash your face and feel squeaky clean? Hate to break it to you, but that squeaky clean feeling is a total scam. Your skin is basically an overcrowded subway station for bacteria, fungi, and mites. Yep, mites. Right now, little microscopic spider-like creatures are crawling around in your pores like they own the place. Most of the time, these critters are harmless. They eat your dead skin cells, which is kind of like housekeeping, if housekeeping involved snacking on your corpse flakes. But if things get out of balance, say too many of one type, They can cause breakouts, rashes, or that mysterious itchy patch you swore was just dry skin. Spoiler, it might be a mite rave. The fun part? No matter how many times you shower, scrub, or douse yourself in lavender body wash, you'll never get rid of them all. You're basically wearing a living, breathing biocoat at all times. Congratulations, you're a less human in a hoodie and more walking bacteria terrarium with Wi-Fi access. So next time someone compliments your skin, just smile and say thanks, while your microscopic tenants throw a victory parade across your forehead. Number 6. Belly button black hole. Your belly button, innocent little dent, home of lint, sometimes pierced with questionable jewelry choices. But biologically, that thing is basically the Bermuda Triangle of bacteria. Scientists once swabbed belly buttons from volunteers and discovered over 1,400 species of bacteria, many of which had never even been identified before. Some people literally had bacteria on them that are normally only found in soil in Japan, despite never having been there. So apparently, your navel is not only a bacterial jungle, but also a mystery travel agency for microbes. Think of it like this. Your belly button is a dark, warm, moist cave. In bacteria terms, that's luxury housing with a hot tub. The weirdest part is that every person's belly button ecosystem is totally unique, like a microscopic fingerprint, which means yours is basically a custom-made microbial terrarium, an exclusive VIP lounge for organisms you didn't even know existed. So yeah, while you're busy worrying about your hairline or your teeth, your belly button is out here running a secret underground civilization, probably plotting, probably laughing, definitely disgusting. Number 5. The gut-brain conspiracy. Ever had a gut feeling? Turns out that wasn't just a figure of speech. Your gut bacteria actually send messages to your brain, which means your moods, decisions, and even your anxiety levels might be influenced by trillions of bacteria hanging out in your intestines. Basically, your gut is the world's worst group chat, constantly pinging your brain with unsolicited advice. Scientists call this the gut-brain axis, and it's creepy because it means you're not fully in charge of yourself. Your craving for pizza could be bacteria begging for carbs. Your sudden urge to cry during a rom-com might be your microbes manipulating serotonin. You are, in a very real sense, a puppet whose strings are being yanked by microscopic roommates that don't even pay utilities. Even scarier, studies suggest gut bacteria imbalances are linked to depression, autism, and even Parkinson's disease, which means the bugs in your stomach aren't just freeloaders, they might also be messing with your personality. Imagine explaining to your therapist that it wasn't childhood trauma after all, it was just Dave the bacterium demanding more cheese fries. So yeah, next time you say trust your gut, just remember, you're really trusting an unruly crowd of microscopic hooligans with their own agenda. Number 4. Breath of 1,000 corpses. Okay, maybe not actual corpses, but let's talk about your morning breath. You know that delightful aroma that could knock out a houseplant at 10 paces. That smell isn't random. It's your mouth bacteria throwing an all-night rave while you sleep. See, when you close your mouth at night, saliva production drops. Saliva normally helps wash away food particles and bacteria, but without it, your mouth turns into a swampy playground for microbes. They chow down on leftover proteins and sugars, then belch out sulfur compounds. Translation: your breath smells like rotten eggs served in a garbage can soufflé. And no, brushing your teeth doesn't exile them forever. There are over 700 species of bacteria living in your mouth right now, forming little biofilms on your tongue and gums. It's like a sticky bacterial city, complete with suburbs and traffic jams. Mouthwash is basically a hurricane that wrecks the neighborhood for a while, but by lunchtime they're back, setting up shop like nothing happened. So yeah, when someone tells you your morning breath could kill, they were technically not wrong. It's the stench of tiny microbes committing mass flatulence in your mouth. Sweet dreams. Number 3. The handshaking lottery. Think shaking hands is a polite gesture. Nope. It's basically microbial blackjack. Every handshake transfers tens of thousands of bacteria, and depending on who you touch, you might inherit anything from harmless skin microbes to, congratulations, your palm now smells like gym socks. Here's the gross detail. Studies found that people who shake hands more often actually have more diverse microbiomes on their hands, which means the most social among us are basically bacterial collectors, Pokemon trainers of germs. And the bacteria don't just sit politely on your skin. Within minutes, they're hitching rides to your phone, your keyboard, and yes, your face. Even fist bumps aren't safe, though they transfer fewer microbes. Elbow bumps? Practically sterile in comparison, which makes me think maybe society should be just skipped straight to bowing or awkwardly waving from across the room. Less germs, same social discomfort. So the next time someone says, "Nice to meet you," while gripping your hand, just smile. Because what they're really saying is, "Congratulations, we now share bacteria custody." Number 2. The bacterial inheritance. Here's something you didn't sign up for. Most of your bacteria originally came from your mom. Yep, childbirth is basically the first major microbial handoff, like your starter Pokemon in a very gross video game. Babies born vaginally get coated in mom's vaginal and gut bacteria, while C-section babies get microbes from mom's skin, and sometimes even from the hospital environment. That starter pack shapes your immune system, digestion, and long-term health. It's kind of like getting handed a starter kit for life, except instead of go to college or start saving money, you get, congratulations, here's a lifetime supply of lactobacillus. And it doesn't stop there. Parents continue transferring microbes by touching, kissing, and, let's be honest, letting babies gnaw on literally everything. Your microbiome is a living family heirloom, one that you'll eventually pass down, whether you like it or not. So yeah, forget grandma's pearls or dad's old vinyl collection. The real inheritance you got from your family. A legacy of bacteria that have been hitchhiking through generations. Charming. Said, number 1, you're basically a walking germ cloud. Here's the grand finale. You don't just have bacteria, you shed them. Constantly. Every second you're releasing a microscopic mist of bacteria, skin flakes, and microbial particles into the air. It's called your microbial cloud, and it's so unique that scientists can actually identify people just by sampling the bacteria floating around them. Forget fingerprints or DNA swabs. CSI could literally just vacuum the air where you were sitting and go, "Yep, that's Karen. She was definitely here, and she ate Taco Bell." The creep factor. Your microbial cloud lingers. Long after you've left a room, your invisible bacterial signature sticks around, haunting the space like a microscopic ghost of your bodily functions. It's like crop dusting, except instead of a bad fart, it's a constant stream of personal microbes tagging every environment you pass through. And since you shed millions of these particles a day, think about what happens in crowded places. Airplanes, movie theaters, office meetings. You're not just breathing air, you're breathing a disgusting bacterial cocktail brewed from everyone else's clouds. That's right. Every inhale is basically a group project you never asked to be part of. So while you like to imagine yourself as a sleek, mysterious human being moving through the world reality check, you're more like a leaky bag of bacteria misting your germs onto every surface, every chair, and every innocent stranger within sniffing distance. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.